Hey, everybody. It is a Monday night again, and guess what that means? It's another
Hashtag
TFR
TFR
Motivation Monday. Hey, guys, just so you know, we love that you hop on here with us live every Monday night, that you block out this spot because you know it's really important. Spot. Yeah, guys, anybody can build this business, just so you know. As long as you can truly try to get your message across, you don't have to be perfect, right?
You don't even have to be hooked on phonics.
Nope. But if you can't be on here live every Monday night, we've got you covered. Make sure you go and subscribe to the Team Freedom Reigns YouTube channel and also Freedom Reigns SoundCloud, so that you get notified every single time we upload new content, because you don't want to miss anything, because that one little bit of information that you miss just might be that one little bit of information
that you need.
That's going to blow your business open. And that's why attending every single event is super, super vital to you building your business. We will be doing a complete review of Long Beach next Monday night, but tonight we have a special guest. Just a couple things that do end at the end of this month. Guys, you can still go to Cancun. You must be at this Elite Academy. It is going to be like none other that we've had before. You can actually earn the whole dang thing back, but you have to get registered first. Registration to stay at the Moon Palace actually ends October 31st, and at Elite Academy, they said we only had less than 100 rooms left. So you've got to go, you've got to get registered, find someone to share the room with, because it is double occupancy, but you will not want to miss the opportunity to rub elbows with all of the amazing elites and masters, and hey, even Sheri that's on the call tonight. So these are the things that you want to be blocking out in your calendar for next year, just some of them, because there's going to be regional events that are going to be announced as well. So again, Destination Elite Academy in Cancun is February 6th through 10th. You've got Premier Pro 5 Summit. Hey, if you have not been yet, you need to put this on your calendars.
Seriously.
And know that you've got qualification period through the end of the year. So that means we've got to get you qualified this month, and you got to maintain it for another couple months so that you can go to Park City, Utah in March next year. And then Global Convention. Las Vegas, Nevada. All right, so Global Convention is going to be in Las Vegas. It's October 21st through 24th, 2020. Make sure you block out these dates. Ask for the time off already. You got to ask now, commit, because if you don't do it, nobody's going to, right? Do now what you want your future team to do, because what you're doing now will depict the size of your future team. Hey, and one more thing that needs to be on this slide that's not here yet. We will have details next Monday, but every single one of you that are on this call have the opportunity to qualify as an elite distributor before the next elite retreat next year in December. It's the first week in December, and where are we going?
Aloha, we're going to Maui, Hawaii.
Say woohoo!
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
So much fun.
Eat some pineapple, eat some poi, put a flower lei on, and go crazy. That's what I'm going to do.
So much fun. All right. So here we are. Do you want to introduce Sheri, or do you want me to?
Well, I would like to say some things about this amazing person. Yeah. So you guys were in Long Beach. You saw the slides that we have, what happens with NRF2 activation, what happens with NRF1 activation, and more importantly, what happens to both of them when you add NAD activation in it, the tri-synergizer. Well, here's something that I can't predict the future, but for those of you who know and love Sheri Hollenback, she doesn't really need these things, but when you give her these things, we may just witness spontaneous human combustion on this call tonight, because you take the Energizer Bunny and throw in NAD, I don't know what the heck we're going to predict. But all I can tell you is that this lady she is number one, she has a complete full quiver of skills and talents and know-how. Unbelievable how successful, how quickly she's been in this business. And she's a first-time network marketer. She'll tell you that, and how she's come through this is very uncharacteristic, but that just proves that when you can have, in her approach, I'm not sure what she's going to get into tonight. We just kind of left it up to her, because when you have somebody of her caliber, we don't want to direct her. We just want to light the fuse and stand back, and that's what you guys are going to have tonight. So we are super excited to have Pro 8 Sheri Hollenback as our guest. And what do you want to say about this amazing lady?
She's crazy awesome. I know that I've been around her several times when she's been on stages at smaller events, and she paces back and forth. She totally gets into the information that she's sharing, and she's normally wearing stilettos that are like this tall. And so I know I pulled my feet back underneath me a little bit closer every once in a while, because she gets into this information because she's sharing from her heart and her passion. And that's the beautiful thing about Elite Pro 8 Sheri Hollenback. She is going to share from her heart her story, what she's excited about, her vision, and anything else that she has felt moved to share. So Sheri, can you please hop on here and just bless our whole team and everybody else that's on here?
Absolutely. Can you hear me okay?
We can hear you great.
Okay, so first and foremost, everybody, can you drop a 2 below if you just love these two on here? Can you drop a 2 below if you just love Marcy and Donnie? Because I'll tell you, I've been in the company 5 years, going on 6 years, and this is the very, look at all the twos coming. This is the very first time I've ever in history agreed to go ahead and do a call for somebody outside of my team. So that says volumes about your leadership.
Wow, thank you.
Okay. So here's what I want to talk about is number one is who is Sheri Hollenback. And I'll tell you, Sheri Hollenback, the twos are still coming in, you guys. Look at this. Okay, Sheri Hollenback. I was that kid that in kindergarten, on the first day of kindergarten, I got gum put in the back of my hair. I got a ball of glue poured in my backpack and told I didn't belong. I was the kid that in junior high, I ate my lunch in the bathroom stall because I didn't have any friends. Like I was the kid, I was 24 years old when I very first started this business. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I had no contacts. I had no skills. I had zero influence. I didn't even know how to get started. Drop a 5 below if you guys didn't know what you were doing at the very beginning, because you were in good hands. I was in the exact same place. I had no idea. But I was also the kid that by 25 years old, 6 months into the business, 5 months into the business, I was able to retire 25 years early from a law enforcement career. By age 26, I went on to go build not 1, but 2 elite positions in the company. By age 27, I managed to become the #1 platinum enroller, not just in the US, but in the entire company, the world. And then just this last year in February, I, between the United States, Mexico, Australia, and Canada, I was #2 enroller. And is #2 still good? I don't know. Is #2? I need a little bit of love here.
So good. You're freaking awesome.
I'm still trying to convince myself, but I say that to you guys not to impress you, but to impress upon you the legitimacy of this business and what exactly can take place. And so what I want to do is I need 100. I can see everybody on this call. I want 100% of your attention focused here right now. 100%. So quit doing the dishes, quit doing the laundry. I need 100% of your focus here. Because here, I care. Sheri Hollenback cares. If you're too scared to go do a presentation, you haven't even made your very first phone call. I care. Mm-hmm. I care if, you have an unsupported spouse at home or kids at home to where it makes it difficult for you to go do this business. I care. I care if you're struggling with a balance between, being a parent and building a business and doing hobbies and work life, and you haven't been able to find time to do business. I care. But you know who doesn't care? Stop what you're doing and look at me right now. Look at this. You know who doesn't care? It's the timing and the urgency of this company is going to hit. And it's going to hit hard. And every single one of you guys staring at me on here is going to fall into one of 2 categories. Category number 1 is you're going to have a foundation in place. Listening to these 2 right here on the call, you're going to have a foundation in place to where once momentum hits, you're going to not just set yourself up, but future generations up. Your one building moment, your one time right here building this is not just going to be influencing you, but influencing future generations from now. That's category number 1. Category number 2 is there's going to be a percentage of people on this call that you won't be ready because you think you have time and you're going to miss it. And I'll tell you this, is I'm going to do everything it takes in these next 10 minutes, everything it takes to make sure you know step by step what to do in order to maximize what's happening in this company. And so what I want you guys to go ahead and do is I want to get a reference point to dictate where I'm going to be taking the next 10 minutes. And I want to know how many people on here are interested in making 5 to 6 figures in this industry. Drop a me below if you're interested in making 5, 6, maybe even 7 figures in this industry. Drop a me below if that's you. I want to know how many people on this call right now or watching it via the Facebook. I don't know how many people are sick and tired of spending more time at their job with their coworkers than they are with their own family. If that's you, drop a me below. And lastly, I want to know how many people are at a breaking point right now. I want to know because I'm talking directly to you. If you're not there, I'm not talking to you. But if you're at that point where I was at when I first got introduced to this industry, if you're at a point to where you're ready to do whatever it takes to win this industry, drop a double me below. Because 5 years ago, I walked into a room and there was a room with 200 people. And I didn't know what I was getting into. I was just told to show up at some meeting because some big guy was going to be in there. And in walks into the room none other than the individual named Marcel Niederhauser. A guy that's built not one, but 2 Master Pro 10 positions. I think even has a Pro 9 position with his partnership. A guy that's done over $1 billion in sales over his career, earned over $24 million in his partnership. That's the guy that walked into the room. And I remember that night he taught me 3 key principles. And those 3 key principles are exactly what got me. This kid that had 12 contacts in their phone. So today we have a team of over 10,000 distributors split in 10, 12, 13, 14. I lose track of how many different countries we're in today. And they all started out with these 3 key principles. So if I were to want to release these in now the next 5 minutes of this call, would you guys want to have access to these 3 key principles? Okay, so number 1, here's what I want you guys to go ahead and do. I want you to do this. I want you to go ahead and write down a piece of paper. This requires you to actually write this down. I want you to write down a piece of paper. I want you to write down how many distributors you want to sign up in the next 30 days. And if you've done this before, do it again. Everything I'm going to be teaching you, one of my biggest pet peeves, just so everyone knows, I hate filler talk, I hate filler exercise, I hate filler work. I only do things that produce results because it has science behind it. And I want everyone to write down how many distributors or post here you want to sign up in the next 30 days. And the very first number that pops into your head, that's the number I want you to go ahead and write down. Because you would not think of something unless you had the full ability to actually achieve it. I got some 3s coming in, some 20s coming in. Very good. Some 10s, some 7s. Very good. Okay, now right below that, Miss Susie, Jonathan, Michael, I want you to go ahead and write down how much money you want to make in the next 30 days. So how many distributors and how much money you want to make in the next 30 days. And once you have that, just go ahead and drop a 1 below, 1,000, 2,000. Very good. Drop a 1 below once you guys have those 2 things done. Actually, just look up at me. Just look up at me. If you guys got those done, just look up at me. Okay, now here's a secret to this whole industry. What I want you to go ahead and do, this is what the Master Pro 10 Marcel taught me 5 years ago. What I want you guys to go ahead and do is I want you to cross off what you just wrote down. Cross it off. Bold, like this is a huge statement you want to do, not just to yourself, but to your team and to your future. I want you to write down a bold X over it. And I want you to write down, I don't care. I don't care. And in replacement, I want you to go ahead and write down 15 presentations a month. 15 presentations a month. Attend the trainings like they're non-negotiable. And 2-5 years. So 15 presentations, attend the trainings like they're non-negotiable, 2-5 years equals how, and now here's what you're gonna do is I want you to write down how much money you want this asset to be producing you. Once you're totally done. How much money do you want this asset to be producing you once it's built out? And by the way, the last time I looked up, the #1 earner in the entire world in network marketing was clearing $4.1 million. And that was a month. So how much money per month do you want this asset paying you and your family? Do you want to pay you $500 a month? Do you want to pay you $10,000 a month? $50,000 a month? How much money per month do you want this asset paying you? And when you have that written down, I want you just to look back up at me. Okay, now what I want you to go ahead and do is I want you, this can sound cheesy, but just do it. There's a science behind it. I want you to go ahead and put down today's date on it. So today is October 7th. Thank you, Marcy. October 7th, 2019. Write down today's date. And I want you to go ahead and write down your volume. Bob and Laura, I think you're awesome. Okay, write down today's volume. Not today's volume. Sorry. Last month's volume. Whatever your month was last month. And if you don't know your volume, just write down a 0. I don't care if it was 0. I don't care if it was 5 million. All I care is you actually write down what your volume was last month. And now what I want you to go ahead and do is underneath that, I want you to write down the date 12 months from now. So that would be October 7th, 2020. And I want you to write down the word volume. But this time, just draw a blank line because you can't fill in the volume because you're not there yet. And what I want you to do is I want you to hang this somewhere in your house, in your car, in your bathroom, in your house, maybe make multiple copies and put it all over the place. And if you can, just for the next 12 months, see, people come up to me all the time. And they're like, Sheri, I want to grow faster. Sheri, I want to get better presentations. Sheri, I want to close more. Sheri, I'm not growing. Sheri, I want more. And how many of you guys, just by a show of hands, how many of you guys want more? Just by a show of hands. Okay. So here's one thing to kind of illustrate how basic this principle is I remember I was in the back of the room, and all these leaders up on stage, like Dante and Marcy, they were saying, all you got to do in this business is just show 15 plans a month or more, go to trainings and repeat. And I remember thinking in the back of the room, I was a 24-year-old kid, and I'm like, it can't be that easy. There's no way. But I'll tell you this, that room with those 200 people, the only difference between me and those 199, and by the way, I have no idea what those 199 are. I know where I'm at. I don't know where they're at. But the only difference between us, what do you think, just by some guesses in the comments below, what do you think is the only difference? I'll give you 5 seconds to answer this. What is the only difference between the Pro Zeros in that room, I was Pro Zero at the same time, versus me today? I did the 15 plans. I went to the trainings. That was it. And to show you how big, good job. And to show you how big of a deal it is I remember in Orlando when there was that big hurricane and the whole Elite Academy got shut down. Do you guys remember that? And everyone was supposed to stay in their rooms and not supposed to get out at all. And so what we did was we got everybody out of their rooms and gathered a batch of us in a room. There's like 500-600 people there. And at that event, there was people coming up to me saying, hey, Sheri, I want more. Like, how do you get the edge? How do you go faster? And I'm like, I'll answer everything up on stage. And a room full of 500-600 people, whenever I got up on stage, I got them all riled up. I'm like, who wants more? Everyone's like, me. I said, who wants to grow faster? Everyone's like, me. I said, okay, this is going to answer the question. This is going to solve all your issues. I said, I want you to go ahead and stand up and listen closely to me in here. I said, I want you to go ahead and stand up if you've shown the presentation 15 times in the last 30 days. And out of 500-600 people, guess how many people stood up? 500-600 people. What do you guys think? 12. And so, okay, so not just the last 30 days, because this is a 2 to 5 year gig, but just the last 30 days and 30 days, the last 2 months together. I said, how many people have done 15 presentations 2 months consistently? And out of those 12, there was like 4 left standing. So it's so easy. If you guys can just over the next 12 months, I've done this exercise with literally thousands of people because I've had the honor to go speak now for like 4 years on the rotation. And I cannot tell you how many people have came running up to me, showing me that paper you just wrote down, that paper, showing me their rank advancement, showing me their bonus check whenever they won those big checks on stage, showing me that they're winning the incentive trips, like showing me all their growth. But I also can't tell you how many people I've done this exercise with that I've never seen again. And the only difference between them and those people running up and excited, the only difference was the ones who were excited did the 15, went to the trainings, and did that for not even a 5-year period, just for a 12-month period. And so here's the deal, is the reason why you want to focus on those behaviors is who's in control of how fast people sign up. If you guys are wondering, just look at Marcy. She just gave you the answer. Just look at her for the go-to. You're not in charge. Unless you bring a gun to a meeting, and they don't recommend that one. That doesn't work. Don't try that. Don't do that. But you're not in charge of how fast people sign up. You're also not in charge of how fast you rank advance right out of the gates. But if you can just over the next 12 months, don't worry about the money, don't worry about the back office, don't worry about the rank events, just focus on what you can control, and that's behaviors. And even if you don't believe me right now, you just think I'm full of hot air, just do it just to prove me wrong, and then 12 months from now, you'll be running up and showing the piece of paper. So here's one thing I want to do in closing for everybody. Is I want you to go ahead and write down on a piece of paper, I want you to write down your thought about you finally accomplished everything you want out of this industry. What does your life look like at this point? If you could literally construct your ideal envision, what would it include? Don't just sit here and stare at me. I want you guys to actually physically write this down. Who would you have in your life? What type of home would you have? What type of vacations? What type of relationships? I'll give you 16 more seconds and just keep writing down. Would you finally go buy that car that you've always wanted to get? Would you write that massive check to that charity you've always wanted to? Or my favorite story is, would you invite your mom over or your dad over to this dream house you're looking at, you know is their dream home, and you ask them like, should I get this, should I not get this? And they're telling you should totally get that, like, and if you get this, just like, please let me come over and take pictures of it. This is my dream home, you gotta get this. And that's whenever you get the chance to turn around to them and say, hey, you know what, Dad, this is your house, I got it for you. What would you do? You got 30 seconds left. And whenever you have that completed, I want you to go ahead and drop a done. Just write down done in the comment section. You guys are doing good. You're doing good. Good job. Good job. Just 10 more seconds. Very nice friends, Cheryl and Jane, Michael, Carol. Excellent job, you guys. Jonathan. Okay, now, good job, you guys. Like, good job. Okay, so now what I want you to go ahead and do, we got that over here. Now, on a separate section of paper, Miss Susie, is I want you to go ahead and write down. I want you to write down 3 things that are holding you back. Why aren't you at the level you want to be at right now? Why is it okay for other people to rank advance and why haven't you? Is it the procrastination? Lack of organization? The fear of success? What is holding you back? And as you have those, I'm going to take note of these, so go ahead and drop it in the comment box. What's been holding you back? Why have you seen that's okay for others to succeed, but you're not? Good job, you guys. Okay, we got discipline, we got follow through, procrastination, self-doubt, consistency, distractions, fear. Now they're coming in faster than I can write down. Lack of action, persistence, follow. Okay, so here's what I want you to go ahead and do. Great job, Mike. Great job, everybody. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to go ahead and do. Is I want you to go ahead and drop a 1 below it, and pay attention to what I'm trying to show you right here. I want you to go ahead and drop a 1 below if you guys at any point in your business feel like you lack discipline. I want you to drop a 2 below if you at any point in your business have lacked follow through. I want you to go ahead and drop a 3 below if at any time you guys have had procrastination or self-doubt or consistency or distractions or fear of success, fear of failure. As you guys are dropping those, I want you to witness everybody else dropping those too. And see, the point I want to make right now is everybody else on a Zoom call hanging out with us, they all have the exact same things. Becky, hi Becky. They all have the exact same things holding them back as you do. So you think you're so unique with your issues holding you back, and you're not. It's everybody else's issues as well. But here's one thing I want to tell you. Is those same issues are holding you back with the lack of discipline, the procrastination, the self-doubt, the consistency, the fear, the distractions? Do you realize you have those? Whether you build this business or whether you don't, you have those in your personal relationships. You have those in your traditional job. You have those with your kids. You have those in college. You have those whether you decide to build this or not. Like you have those right there. So it's not this business that brings it out in you. It's just what you have. And see, one thing I want to really point out is everybody on this call, 5 years ago when I walked into the room, there was 200 people in there. I referenced this earlier. I do not know where those 199 people are. One thing I do know about them is they had all these exact same issues that you just finished pointing out. I had these exact same issues you guys keep pointing out. The only difference between me and them was even though we had these, because you're going to have them whether you build this business, I want to stress that, is all we did was we sold it to that 15 plans, the trainings, the 2 to 5 years. Now, and I'll tell you this, is the first 6 months of this, the first 12 months, the first 24 months, so the first 36 months, the first 4 years, 5 years into this thing, I didn't believe it. I was very convinced. I didn't believe if it was going to work or not. I remember countless conversations with Marcel I had. I was like, Marcel, I don't know if it's going to work. But all I did was I just did it just in case. I just did it just in case it did work. And so what I want to ask everybody on this call is just over these next 12 months, forget the signs, forget the money, forget the rank advancement, just focus on what you're in control of in the 15 plans. And I promise you won't be disappointed. I can't even begin to tell you how many people I've done this exercise with. And see, over these next 12 months, if you actually decide to do this, you're going to run into something I like to call the voice of truth or the voice of lies. And what that is I want to take you guys just to a moment to where some point in your life to where you haven't accomplished something. It could be something small like organization, or it could be something big, but just everyone just close your eyes for just a moment. And I want you to go back to one point in your life to where you have not accomplished something. You've been meaning to accomplish it and you just haven't been able to make yourself do it. What's one point in your life? And while you're thinking about that, I want you to go ahead and take note of what the voice that's talking to you in that moment you're thinking about the thing you haven't finished. I want you to take note of, number one, where that voice is talking to you. Do you hear these voices on your left side of your head, your right side, and your chest and your stomach? Where's that voice coming from? Number two, I want you to take note of what does that voice sound like? Is it aggressive? Is it low? Is it loud? And number three, specifically, I want you to take note of what does that voice tell you? And I want you to go and drop in the comments below. What does that voice tell you? And now what I want you to go ahead and do is I want you to step into a moment to where you're ultra proud, to where you accomplished something and you own it. Like you knew you were the reason that thing was successful. And it could be something LifeVantage or something non-LifeVantage related. But go to that moment, close your eyes one more time, and think about the moments where you're ultra successful. And I want you to take note of what voice you hear now in your head. Like you owned it, you know you won. Like you were the one that made everything happen. And I want you to take note of, number one, where is that voice talking to you at? Is it in the right side, left side of your head, in your stomach? I want you to take note of how does that voice sound, loud, soft? And last thing, specifically, what does that voice tell you? Is it chanting the same thing over and over? Is it repeating different phrases? What does that voice tell you? And drop it in the comments below. And now what I want you to go and do is I want you to take that voice you just finished discovering, and just so you guys all know, that is the voice of truth. That is the voice that knows what you can and can't do. That is the voice that knows what your full potential is. That is the voice that knows what's inside of you just dying to be unleashed. That is the voice of truth. The first voice you recognize, that was the voice of lies. That was the voice of that 2 million-year-old brain. That was the voice of all those, that was the voice of that produced all of this stuff up here. And what I want you to go and do is take that voice of truth, the second voice, and I want you to bring it into the thought process of that thing you haven't accomplished yet. And I want you to bring that voice to the table and tell me, what does that voice tell you in that moment? The thing you procrastinate on, but now you're listening to the voice of truth. What does the voice of truth tell you? Good job, you guys. Okay, so what I want you to go, exactly. Good job, you guys. Okay, so that right there is the voice of truth. And so what's going to happen is if you decide to do this whole 15 plans, attendance trainings, 2 to 5, forget the 2 to 5, just next 12 months. If you decide to do that, Michael, Kara, Alice, Becky, if you guys decide to do that, over the next 12 months, you're going to have to be having these back and forth conversations. And every single time you're questioning whether you can build, so every single time you're questioning whether you can lead the team, every single time you're questioning whether you should go make 20 phone calls or go talk to those strangers or go speak up in front of the room, every single time you're questioning that, I want you to go ahead and bring the voice of truth to that conversation. And that's when you listen to. So with that said, you guys, I have about 50 million more things I could tell you, but I'm on a tight time limit. But let's go ahead and close out with about 3 minutes of any questions you guys have. Any questions you have? No, thank you, Sheldon. Any questions you guys have, go ahead and post them here and I'll answer it. Just keep posting them. I'm going to write them all down and answer them all in the last minute that we have. So if you guys have any questions, no questions are off limits. This is your chance to bring them up. And any questions not answered on this call, Sheldon's going to answer them for you later.
There you go. I love it. So while we're waiting for the questions to come in, will you share your thoughts on this last product launch compared to when you first got started, where you feel in your heart about your business now?
Yeah, so here's what I was actually telling my organization is everybody is with the elite status. Like people always, every single time, and I was the same way at the very beginning, was I wanted to know what the secret was to get elite, like what the secret was to go win. And I would do anything it takes. And it comes down to I'm going to be building the exact same way I built in the very beginning. I'm going to build the exact same way I built in the middle, the way I was building 2 days ago. The exact same way is just, if you can, and am I excited about the NAD? Like, absolutely. Like, I saw results in like the first 2 hours. Like, I felt this stuff. I saw my dad, he's not a big product person. He's obsessed with the NAD. My mom obsessed with, like, everybody's obsessed with it. We had like $20,000 worth of orders go in like 2 minutes. And it was like, boom, 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 boom. And then all these, I mean, it's been exploding the team by literally tens of thousands of dollars, just the NAD. So I'm excited about it, 100%. But here's why I'm even more excited about it. Is if you guys over the next 12 months, you just do, literally, if you just do the 15 plans, go to trainings, that's the secret to this whole industry. That's what's going to take us to that next level. That's what's going to really expose the talkers versus the builders. Those ones actually go out there and go do it. And so what's so cool about everybody on here is forget anything's happened in the past. You can start today. Like the first 10 years is okay to miss. Like it would have been cool to have a chance at that first 10 years, but it'd be okay to miss. I'm telling you, these next 10 years, you're not going to want to miss. And if you miss it, the only thing you're going to have is you're going to understand exactly what perfect comp plan means, perfect timing means, perfect leadership means with the Dondies right here. You're going to have a chance of knowing exactly what perfect means. The problem is you're not going to be a part of it. But the cool thing is you can start today. And I promise you the next 12 months, you just fill out that piece of paper. Just watch what takes place. So thank you for asking that question.
You're welcome. Looks like there's a couple on there.
Okay, let me jump to the chat really quick. How do you face rejection in a call if someone's less technical and for $50 kits to look for anybody? Okay, so here's what I'm going to tell you. And thank you, Sheldon. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Jonathan, for saying all that. And I'm going to answer this, Michael. Michael, this is to you. And this is actually for everybody. If there was a guarantee, this is what kept me going over the last 5 years. If there was a guarantee that you show that video 15 times a month, you go to the trainings like they're non-negotiable, you do it for 2 to 5 years, you'd be getting a guaranteed check for the amount of money you wrote down every single month for the rest of your life, an asset you can will down for generations. If that was a guarantee, Michael, would you find your invite voice? Would you do 15 plans a month? And here's how I also answer questions is if you don't know how to do your invite voice, and I love that you asked this question because it's a great teaching platform for me. But when you say you don't know how to do something, like you don't know how to do the invite voice, Okay, well, hypothetically, if you knew how to do the invite voice, how would you do it? Sheldon, how do you face rejection? Well, if you knew how to face rejection, how would you do it? And so lots of times what happens is all of you guys on this call, I'm just using these three for an example because they were so bold to ask these questions. But you guys already know all the answers. Sometimes you just need to rephrase it into a third person in order to have your brain access it. So what always came down to me in closing is this. And the same thing with someone less fortunate can only afford $50. Everyone can afford it. If someone has a cell phone in their hand, they can afford it. If I were to say I have 10 of the brokest people in Vegas sitting on the street corner, and I tell them each I'm going to give them a 2019 Corvette, $120,000 car for $1,250, and the very first person that gives me $1,250 gets the car free and clear. How many of those broke people, Jonathan, would come up with the $1,250? And I love that question you just asked. But there's some people, if they see the value, they see it. If they don't see the value, sure, do whatever you want to do with that kit. But if they see the value, they'll figure it out. But in closing, Mercy Dondi, I'm past my limit. But in closing, the thing is if there is a guarantee, this is going to answer everybody's questions. If there is a guarantee, you show the plan 15 times a month, you go to the trainings, you do that for 2 to 5 years. If that was the only prerequisite, would you figure out the answers to all of your questions with the rejection, with the invite voice, with all these $50? Would you figure it out? And the answer is yeah. So it's been an honor to get a chance to be on your guys' call. And I'm telling you guys, everybody on here, drop a 3 below again if you love these guys. This is the first time in history I've ever done a call for anybody, period. But that just speaks volumes about your guys' leadership. Oh. If I can know how to drop a 3, I just dropped a whole bunch of 3s. But thank you guys for your time so much. And what's really going to dictate is the next 12 months, action is going to dictate what you do the second you get off this call. So thank you so much, you guys, for the honor of getting the call.
Oh, amazing.
Yes, absolutely amazing. Sheri, one of the things that I just love about you is your bulletproof confidence. And that is the thing that you were born, you came out of the womb with that. Whether you had glue in your hair or glue in your backpack or gum in your hair, it's something that was just dormant. So when you went through the voice of truth and the voice of lies exercise with yourself, and you found that voice that you now have and you possess very strongly, and it sounds like a megaphone without one, that's the confidence that it's number one, it's contagious. Number two, it's very attractive knowing that it can be done by anybody. You just gave everybody permission because you made it so simple and broke it down into things that everybody can do. The question is like, it's going to be the people that were on this call, are they going to be the one like you that persevered and just did it? Or are they going to be like the other 199 that were in the room with you that who knows where they are? That's really thank you for making it so simple.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all about actions. I mean, I love all of the things that people said that was holding them back. But the true answer to every single one of those things is action. Because the more you do something, even though it scares the shishi out of you, the better you get at it. And then you become confident, and then you get the posture like Sheri, right? You can stand and be bold and just step into it because you know what you have is better than anything else that's out there. You're a blessing. Thank you so much. We appreciate your time, and we look forward to hearing more from you as the years go on, because you are not only are you a star, but you are rising, right? You're still rising. We're all still rising because we have never arrived. And once we think we have, that's when we are in trouble. So we appreciate and honor you and the time that you shared with us. I'm going to go ahead and